Hello, I'm Richard Jack Smith of Real Talk Movie Reviews. I'd like to preface my review of the soundtrack to Vampire the Masquerade Swansong by just rewinding the clock a little back to 2004, in which Rik Schaffer provided music for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I wanted to listen to this soundtrack as well as Swansong, because although Swansong is not actually a direct sequel to Bloodlines, they are part of the same universe, and so for contrast purposes it may help with the discussion. Briefly, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines by Rik Schaffer isn't a very good score. Apart from one country track about 6 minutes long, 2/3 of the way through the album it's an hour and a half of music, far too much. It's thematically challenged, there's a lot of repetition, the rhythms are very obvious and overused. If ever a soundtrack needed a blood transfusion, this is it. I guess in the sense of a mini review, I would give Bloodlines by Rik Schaffer 1 out of 5 stars. Now, Vampire the Masquerade Swansong by composer Olivier Deriviere is excellent. I was taken back at first because Deriviere had done Vampire, which is another game set in the universe of bloodsuckers and prey, but this was nothing like Vampire, where that had much more of a melancholy industrial edge to it. This was much more, I think, expansive. There's a little bit of smoky jazz in there. It has a very macabre, seductive quality to it, and the song which opens it, The Night Has Come, very catchy. I was too sure at first whether I loved or even hated this score, the way it begins at least, and then of course the way it develops. Very concise at just over 30 minutes long, and I think Deriviere has the right idea here. He goes off in a few different directions with it, and the replay value is something that really took me by surprise, because I've listened to this twice now and I feel like I haven't discovered all of its secrets yet, compared to Schaffer's effort of 2004, which was 3 times as long and, well, just empty by comparison. Swansong has got so much hidden value, and it's one of my favourite scores of 2022 already. This is a little bit before the game is officially released. I'm looking forward to this. It's a single player experience, unlike the multiplayer of Bloodlines, but I think it's going to be something that's well worth checking out. And the music, as I say, it crosses many different thresholds of styles and preferences, and it has, I'm not going to say it has something for everybody, but it has its legs in a few different places here, and I think if you give it a chance it may just sort of grow on you as it did me. I found that I was more leaning towards certain pieces than others at first, but then when I went back and listened to like The Night Has Come and then the 4-note motif which follows that in the second track, forget Michael Giacchino's The Batman, just forget it, you know. If you want to hear a good 4-note theme in modern times, check out Swansong. Michael Giacchino did some okay work on Batman, but you know, it's been well tried and tested. So Olivier Deriviere, who's by this stage a game score composer veteran, having worked on Greedfall as well, Plague Tale Innocence, and I say that the previews for Swansong, okay, the facial animations don't look magnificent, it's not God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2, but narratively I think it's going to be a surprise. You know, I love games where you can control what happens and you affect the outcome, much like Vampire was. I'm on again, off again with Vampire, doing the pacifist run at the moment where you don't bite anybody, which makes the game interesting when you come to bosses, but I digress. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong is a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't go so far as to give it my absolute highest rating. I think this could be the beginning of a much bigger story, musical story, and Olivier Deriviere has done exceptionally well here with what he presents. And so for that reason I give Vampire the Masquerade Swansong soundtrack 4 out of 5 stars. Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, so far this is one of my favourites of 2022. For more film and soundtrack reviews, please visit Betty Jo Tucker's website, Real Talk Movie Reviews. On Facebook you can find my pages, Hip-Notic Movie Reviews and Hip-Notic Soundtrack Reviews. I am Richard Jack Smith, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.